In today's tutorial, let's learn how to do the plaid throw, another free pattern available on yarnspirations.com. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. In today's tutorial we're going to work on the plaid throw. This is a very easy pattern using the Bernat blanket as you see in the background. I'd like to explain a few things before getting started. This is really simple. Even beginners can do this pattern. So let's review the pattern really quickly. So we have the materials and you'll see that there's 4 yarns being made. When we look at the down view just like so, you'll see all 4 colors in there, easier over here than you would here. And then you can see, oh my goodness, 6 balls, 2 balls, 1 ball, and 3 balls. These are the Christmas size balls that you see here. These are the 150 grams. The ones that you normally find in the stores are normally 300 grams, which are twice the size. So if you want to take some quick notes here, I did it so the point is that 6 balls are the 150 grams, but if you only want to use the big ones, if you have these in stock, you only need 3 balls, and then you only need 1 of the next color, a half of the next color, and 1 1/2 of the final color if you want to substitute using bigger balls just like so. So let's quickly talk about what we're looking at from the down perspective and what we see here with the stripe patterning just like that. So we're going to be starting off this pattern right here, and we're going to be starting and just going down. It's such a simple concept. It's only just this little piece of paper in order to make it work. You're going to notice that the stripe patterning is available to you. So the first 10 rows are going to be A. So what is A? You look over here, it's green. B is going to be for 4 colors, and what's B? It's fuchsia, and then A again, and then C, A. And you can just make check marks as you go in order to make it. So here's what it looks like as a bigger version. So you can see that with A is 10 rows right at the start, and then we switch off with B for 4 colors for 4 rows, and that's the fuchsia color I believe. And then you can see how it's striping. So you can see that the fuchsias are kind of balancing each other. You have the teals and then the purple right in the middle. Also with the strands that are coming down through here, there's only 7 of these strands, and because of that you'll see that there's 2 of the same color, 1 and then a different color right in the middle, and then a teal again, and then 2 of the same color to bring it in balance. So the whole concept for this particular Afghan is to make a large mesh just like you see, and these are just 3 strands just pulled and weaved through the whole thing and then sewn into place at the bottom and the top pieces just like so. If you want to make a fringe at this particular point you could do so if you wish. I probably wouldn't recommend it, but just because this is a Christmas color orientation, you can just switch off your colors for whatever you have in stock and still have the same effect. Now this also here, it says that it's 27 inches from the end. Okay, just to measure over to start, so you don't have to count the amount of spaces, just about 27 inches. So if you want to move this, just don't do 27, just do it to something else. If you want to add more, just be conscientious that you will use more yarn if you add more, but you can have a lot of fun with this particular concept if you wish. In today's tutorial I'm going to use a size L 8mm crochet hook. It asks for a 9mm size crochet hook or a size M. I don't have that in stock, so I'm going to use this one instead. I also don't have the Christmas colors. I only have like 1 ball of each of the Christmas colors here in stock, so I'm gonna substitute with a different color yarn, and mine is just gonna be a very miniature sample to show you how to make the mesh, how to weave it, and how to do the border of this particular Afghan. So let's get started right now. So let's begin to make the mesh. So I'm just gonna take a color green because that's what I have here, and I'm going to create a slip knot, and let's insert our hook. So if you want to do this Afghan as per written, it's 114 is your chain, but if you want to change the sizes, just keep it an even number in order to make it work. Okay, so an even number. So I'm gonna do a miniature sample, so I'm only gonna do I think 20 this time. So remember the slip knot on the hook never counts as 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So there is my even number. Look how big that is already. That's only 28 chains, so think about 114. You have a very nice size Afghan. So let's keep on going. Row number 1. So row number 1, we want to go 1/2 double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So let's count back. So don't count the one that's on the hook. Here's 1 underneath. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. Simply turn it over and get the back hump only. Just make sure you wrap the hook first to do a half double crochet. So just insert into the chain, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Just yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so that first one, because you went 4 chain from the hook, counts as a double crochet, sorry, counts as a half double crochet and a chain 1. So now that you have that done, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to skip the next chain that's available to you and go to the second one over and half double crochet again. And we're going to do that all the way across this chain. The starting chain is always the most pain, so just stick it out, because once you get beyond this one it becomes easy. Chain 1, skip the next chain and go to the second one over for another half double crochet. So you can see that I'm creating the mesh that you're going to be playing with when you go to do those strands work. Okay, so chain 1 or skip 1 chain, go to the second over for a half double crochet. So please do that all the way down your chain that you're doing. And again, if you're substituting different sizes, then you'll have a different size chain, but it doesn't matter as long as you kept your chain in an even number. So I'll meet you at the end of this chain and I'll see you there in just a moment. So coming up all the way to the end, I'm chaining 1 and then I'm going into the last one. If you have stitches that are left over at the end, just unravel the final. So if, for example, say you had another chain here, just take this string and just kind of pull it out and it will get rid of that extra chain if you have one left over. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It looks like a perfect, like a ladder. Okay, but it's a mesh, and so now we're going to maintain this mesh for the entire project. The only difference is that every now and then we have to change colors as per the striping. And remember, we're gonna be doing 10 colors of green or 10 rows of green, and then we switch off for 4 rows of B, and then 2 rows of A, 2 rows of C, and etc. And that's on the pattern. I'm gonna show you how to turn the work and move up one row, and then I'm gonna show you again then how to change colors to be able to do the striping in the horizontal direction. Let's move up to row number 2. We're gonna turn our work. So this time we're going to start off, and this is how we start off every row going forward for the rest of this project. The only difference is that every now and then we have to change the colors in order to keep the patterning looking cool. So we're going to chain 3. Now normally in crochet, chaining 3 equals a double crochet, but in this case what it's equaling is 1 half double crochet and a chain 1. If you can remember that, it's pretty easy. So what we need to do is that we need to go into the tops of each one of these half double crochets that you have in the row below. We want to create like a mesh like you would see in a window in a window screen. So we're going to just yarn over and we're going to come into the top of the first one. So it's just gonna be right in the top of the first half double crochet. If you are off, you're gonna half double crochet. If you come into the one right before it, what's gonna happen is your Afghan is gonna grow up on an angle, and you don't want that. So then chain 1 and look for the next one. So once you get the first one in, you can see here's the next one that you want to skip, and then there's the next one that you should go into. So it's just a matter of getting that first one established in the row, and you can easily just follow it across. So chain 1 after each one and continue that same patterning going all the way across. So the half double crochets are creating the mesh, and I think they've done half double crochet because half double crochet is not as tall as double crochet, and with doing open mesh work like this you would have like pretty excessive gaps. You'd use a lot more yarn too. So we're just coming right to the end of the other side. So of course yours will be bigger if you're doing the Afghan, as you see in the picture. But you can see how fast it goes, and always the starting is always the most hardest because you don't have a lot of project to hang on to, and once you get the rhythm of this, it goes really quick. So we still have 2 more stitches left. We have this one and this one, so don't forget that. Let me show you where to put your hook into the last one. So we still want to chain 1 first. Now this was a chaining of 3, so we want to come to the chain. Okay, so half double crochet into the 3rd chain, and that will allow you to have that open mesh work at the end. So let me show you how to change color, because every row is now the same. You can see the half double crochets are sitting on top of each other, but let me show you how to change color if you would like to do so within this pattern. To change color, what I like to do is just trim my yarn, and I'm not yet finished, so I'm just gonna yarn over and pull through that strand. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my hook and just weave that in through some stitch work. What's gonna happen is that next time we come around here, we're going to come up with the next row, and by doing it like this you're going to trap it in the next row underneath the stitching, and it pretty much locks onto each other. Remember, crochet is like knot work, right? So because of the way that you're forming the crochet, it's basically one big knot, all just really fancy. So it wants to tighten onto each other naturally. So I go about that far, and then I'm just gonna leave this until I get to the next row, and then I'll show you what to do at that point. So taking my next color, I'm just gonna do some gray here. I'm going to start off with a slip knot first, and I'm gonna put it on my hook. So this is where I finished off. So I want to turn my work first, okay, and I want to insert it into the top of the last half double crochet that I was in. And I want to take the straggler, which is the loose end here, and the yarn leading to the ball. I want to just be conscientious about, but just take the one leading to the ball and pull through. It just it's like a slip stitch, and then take the yarn straggler and the one leading to the ball and just chain twice. One, and just wrap them both. This will get it nice and secure and trap it underneath. And then I want you to chain one more time, so without that second one here. So this straggler is now permanently stuck into position. You can trim that afterwards. So then you have your half double crochet, which is 2 chains, and the third chain is your chain 1, and you want to maintain this pattern again. So you're going to just come on top of the first half double crochet. Just again look where it is. Okay, and you want to half double crochet the mesh into there. Chain 1 and come on to the next one, and then half double, or chain 1 and then half double crochet into the next one. You see that? So the mesh is pretty much sticking right where it should be right on top of each other. And you can see that this is where the straggler is hanging out. So once I get beyond this stitch, I'm just going to safely just trim that straggler right now, get it out of my way. You can see it's gotten stuck under the stitches along the way. And I want to chain 1 and keep on going. So that would be how you would change the colors to do this, going all the way across for your particular thing. So you can follow the patterning for the color changes. So when I come back, I'm going to show you how to do the strands down, the weaving effect. That's really simple, and then I'm gonna show you the 2 rounds for the border in order to complete this Afghan. When you come to the end, don't forget you have to come into the chain work. So you gotta leave one chain empty and come to the second one over and half double crochet. And that's the only way to maintain that on the edge. So this is what it looks like. So you can see that the mesh is right on top of each other, just like a window screen, like so. So let's I'm gonna fasten this off, and I'm going to show you how to do the strands. And I fasten off the same way that I just changed colors, and we still have to do a border with this as well. So you don't have to sew it in at all at this point, because the border is probably gonna trap it into position anyway. Okay. So let's talk about the strands going in and do all that next. So we're now ready to do the strands that you see. There's a total of 7 of them that you see going on here. So it's fuchsia, fuchsia, teal, purple, teal, fuchsia, fuchsia. So it's really quite easy. Each one of these that you see are made up of 3 strands that are put together and just weaved together in order to give it the thickness that you need. Okay, so some people prefer to chain this kind of thing. If you're gonna do that, it will change your yarn quantities. Just be very conscientious of that if you wanted to do it that way. Again, it's your creativity, it's up to you. So basically what I would do if I were you is that there's 3 different colors of the strands. Just take one of each of the color from the ball itself and just keep pulling until you get 90 inches and then cut it. And then each 3 will be a different color, or each strand will be a different color, and then you can continue to do that. But it's just a lot easier to measure multiples like this at one time than it is to do one strand, get 90, do another strand, get 90, when you can actually do a multiple. And 90, you will have a little bit left over, so it's just a matter of having a little bit left over so you can play with that as well. So let's get our strands ready, and then I'm gonna show you how to weave them in at this time. To figure out where the strands are going, if you look at the instructions, it says that if you look from the right edge, it'll go 27 inches. You can move these wherever you want to. So if you want this more centered, you can move it more to the center. There's only a total of 7 of these if you wish. And again, the creativity is up to you. So you can't move these because you've already done it, but this you can move for sure. So even if you want it more on the edge, just because this is Christmas doesn't mean you have to make it Christmas oriented. You can do any colors that you wish. Let me show you how to get all these strands through really quite easily, and do that right now. So with 3 strands at one time, what I like to do is that I like to put in a little knot that is very easy to come out. Okay, so just a knot so you can pull all 3 at the same time. Okay, so not too tough, but all I want to do is that I want to drag the yarn. So from the top side to the bottom, you just want to drag your yarn through. Okay, so it says beginning of the bottom edge. Okay, so it says the beginning at the bottom edge, so we're gonna begin at the bottom. It doesn't really matter which way you start, but you're just gonna pop it through, and see I'm not even using a crochet hook, and just pop that knot up and down throughout the entire project. So what I would do is I would lie this project on a table, and basically you would have this all into position going all the way through. Okay, so because I've only done 3 rounds, you can see that I haven't really done enough to really show you the effect on the actual project, but you can see you'll have these beautiful long strands of the color as it jumps over from one to another. So you're going to do that. So what do we need to do for the very top and the bottom? This is what I would do. There's really no instructions for it, but this is what I would do. So what I would do is do all your strands at the same time. So weave them all, and just leave them out hanging. Okay, so don't do any tie work at this time. Get them all. Make sure that you can stretch your Afghan so they all look like they're sitting in there, but they're not so tight that the Afghan is kind of compressing. Okay, so once you get that done, what I would do is take that yarn strand on the other side. You might want your crochet hook for it, and just kind of pull through. Okay, like so. And what I would do is take that knot out that you did. You're only gonna have the knot on the one side of your strand anyway. The other side will be knot free. Okay, and what I would do is that around this outside here, just tie it. Okay, so just kind of go underneath it. And what we're going to do in the next revolution anyway was that we're going to go over with the border. So make sure you get all the strands through. So there's no fringing on this particular one, and just take your time and just kind of do it as a knot. And what I would do is leave this strand down on top of the line, and when you go to do the next layer, what's gonna do is gonna get trapped underneath it, and then you can just trim it after that point. If you wish to make 2 knots out of this, just be conscientious that if the more knots you do with this, the bulgier it will be. And if you look at the pattern on the top side when we did it, you'll notice that it does bulge up a little bit, and it's probably because it's coming up underneath some knots, just like so. Okay, that's for the border. So come to the other side. If you have excess left over, don't worry about not cutting it. You can cut it if you wish, and just again do the same thing. Just you want to come around and just kind of tie it on the other side. So the biggest deal is that you don't want to ruin this by making it too tight. Okay, and then what I would do then is do them all, and then at the end of it just clean them all up before starting your border, and then you can get that done really quite nicely. So that's what I would do. You could also use a darning needle to sew these into position using complementary yarn if you wish, and again that's completely up to you if you want to do that as well. So let's review on how to do a border. So you notice I'm not leaving these, but I'm gonna pull them nice and tight. Okay, pull them nice and tight once you get them all into position, and you're good to go. So we can just safely leave that for now, and then we'll deal with it when we come around. So I'm going to start off anywhere on the edge. Okay, so let's just start off on the one side, and I'm going to create a slip knot to join. Okay, so we're gonna start off right in the edge corner, and we're going to join your yarn. Okay, leave that straggler out of position at this time. Just pull through, and we're gonna bury that underneath anyway. So we're going to chain 1, and we're gonna put 3 single crochets into the same one. So every corner is going to have 3 single crochets into it. Okay, and the instructions just tell us that it just wants us to go into every stitch going all the way around. Okay, so this is going into the top of the next half double crochet. The next one is going to be a chain 1 space. Okay, and the next one is the top of the half double crochet, and this is how I'm gonna get rid of all of these ones here. Okay, so I just want to just take it, just looking for everything here, and the next one is the chain 1 space, and the striping is in that one. So I just want to kind of go over everything and just single crochet, and then do you see how I'm just going over everything and I'm going to single crochet in because I'm trapping everything underneath. Then I'm gonna go into the chain 1 space. Now on your patterning, what's gonna happen is the next one will be the next strand going down. So you just gotta be conscientious, so you don't wanna drag these too far, okay, because then you'll have another set to drag through. So what I would do at this point, if it were me, is that I would not confuse myself and just safely just trim all those out, and then you will not see things like you shouldn't. Okay, so let's continue to go across. So just in the top of the next half double crochet, it's a single crochet, chain 1 space, okay, half double crochet in the next. Sorry, it's all single crochets. I'm just saying what the stitches are. So whenever I get to a corner, as I've kind of stated already, is that the end corners are always going to be 1 or 3 single crochets into the corner. Okay, so here is the last chain 1 space, so here's the corner, and on this one here I want to put in 3 single crochets. Noticing I'm not putting it into a gap space because it's supposed to be a half double crochet for an edge. So you'll have an excessive gap if you do that. So down the sides it's not gonna be as straightforward, but it says to equally space them. So here's a space, so I would do 1 single crochet there, and here's a side of a half double crochet here. So I'm gonna go into there, and the next one is going to be a space. Now if you remember, half double crochet is equaling a chain 2, so you just basically you're gonna go into 1 chain 1 space kind of looking, and then the other one's right into what appears to be a stitch and a space, and then this is on the top corner. Okay, so it'll go right into an actual end, and it'll be 3 single crochets there. So the reality is that did you see I wasn't counting? I'm just looking for where things should go. If it's starting to buckle in any way, I know it's not, I'm not adding the right amount of stitches, and then I'm gonna come along the bottom and just again just follow what I did on the top. So every other one's gonna be in a chain 1 space, and the other one will be right into a half double crochet in the bottom side of it. So continue that same idea going all the way around, and I'll meet you back and I'll show you how to do the reverse single crochet. Once you get onto the other side here, you're going to have the same issue that you had over here, and again just follow it along, get those items stuck underneath. So the next one is a straggler, or is the strand that's going down through, so just going around. So just put everything on top and going into the next one and just kind of going over top of everything to get it stuck underneath. Okay, see, I'm going over everything, and then once I'm satisfied with that, just take your scissors and cut those out. And that's kind of where I started anyway, so I'm good with that. I can clean that up afterward, and I can carry on right to another corner. So you can see I basically I have my strands coming through. I've got it buried under so well that you barely see it, and then you know, of course in the end you just want to do your final touches and get rid of it. So in the corners you're going to do your 3 single crochets to turn. So 1, 2 and 3, and then again down the side. So they've got a big space there. The next one is in a what appears to be a side of a stitch, space, side of a stitch, and then space, and then the next one is your corner. Now that you started off with 3 single crochets, so at this point you just want to go into the first single crochet and join that to finish that round. So you'll know if it's right at this point. Your blanket should not be buckling. It should not be doing any weird twists. It should be just nice and just like you see here. So let's do the final round, which is the reverse single crochet. So let's get ready, and we're going to do the last round, and this will be reverse single crochet. So we're not gonna turn our work at all. We're just gonna start working in the reverse. So we've been coming from this direction. We want to go back in the same direction, but without turning our project. This is also known as a crab stitch. You're going to chain 1 first, and coming up to the stitch right before this, you're gonna insert your hook. So we go down in, grab the yarn, pull through, and then grab the yarn and pull through 2. And you keep doing that. So come to the next stitch right before, in, just make sure that yarn goes right up over the top, and then pull through 2. This stitch takes a little bit of time getting used to, but it does a beautiful finishing effect when it comes to doing your Afghans. You see this a lot on hats too. So just coming in, pull under, and pull through. And it almost looks like, in certain yarns, it looks like it's a roping effect on the outside. It thickens up the border. So what are you gonna do on the corners? Well, we're not gonna add anything to the corners. We're just gonna simply just continue to go around the corner for reverse single crochet in each one of the existing stitches. So we don't have to do any extras for making the turn. This type of stitch, it just does a lovely appearance on its own. And just coming into each one. And again, this stitch takes a little bit of getting used to. When I saw it for the first time, I'm like, whoa, what is that? Okay, so I want to take my time, and so you can see it has a beautiful look when all is said and done, and it's really quite a nice stitch, and that's all you'd have to do in order to finish off this project. So just continue to do that. When you get back all the way to the start over here, you just have to join it with the slip stitch and then fasten off, weave in your ends, and then your Afghan is good to go. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Thank you so much for joining me, and this is the Tattle Plaid Throw, a free pattern available by yarnspirations.com. We'll see you. Bye bye.